going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball fan manga breakdown review, where today we're going to be reviewing the official Dragon Ball Heroes manga, which is a fan-made manga set within its own timeline outside of the main canon of Akira Toriyama and Toei Animation. As for many years now, I've been reviewing and introducing all kinds of Dragon Ball fan mangas to the world created by the community for the community, so if you guys are interested in seeing and reading up on incredible stories and concepts such as Dragon Ball AF, Dragon Ball Legendary, Dragon Ball New Age, Dragon Ball X, and many others, then feel free to check out the Dragon Ball fan manga playlist in the description box for more videos such as this, as right now we are going to be diving into a brand new manga chapter. As before we begin, if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be the first to know when a new video is posted onto this channel as we kick off Dragon Ball Heroes Dark Demon Realm manga chapter number 4 with the evolution of Cell. Now keep in mind, in the prior manga chapter to this, Cell was beginning to evolve into a more horrific state than what he is now, as Gravy goes on to tell Putine and saying, "Hey Putine, I want to thrash him with my own powers," with Putine having to reply by saying, "Don't exert yourself, our bodies are not yet ready to adapt to the demon god powers. Moreover, I also want to test my power, adding the power of a demon god with Kiri, a soul's energy gathered from this fight, I guess. Let's see the outcome. This will be the most disastrous monster," as we slowly get to see Cell begin to evolve into this monster, as finally in the flesh we get to see the birth of Cell X. Now, if you guys have seen my modded videos before on Cell X, where he came from, and basically just the origins of his designs, it came from Dragon Ball Heroes Dark Demon Realm manga chapter number 3, when originally he was defeated by Vegeta, and now having Putine and Gravy pretty much exert the powers within Cell in allowing that to manifest onto the surface and giving Cell this brand new transformation. And now that Cell has transformed, he looks down and spotting Vegeks, and Vegeks is like, what is he? Like, what is this monstrosity? And even Gravy looks on over in disgust and saying, nah, and Putine's like, wow, he looks so awesome, which to her credit, he does. And as that goes down, we see how Vegeks is on the defensive as we see Cell X go off and trying to attack him, and it's most interesting how Vegeks goes on to state what a huge structure and his movements, he's so fast. So it's not the fact that Cell's power has also increased, but his speed and more notably probably his durability as well, given the fact that Cell X is fighting a newly formed fusion of future Trunks and Xeno Vegeta. But just as quickly as Vegeks turns around, we get to see how Gravy appears behind him and smacking him down into the dirt with his weapon and saying, "You saw that, Putine? I just clobbed him with one of my own attacks." And Putine's like, "I saw it, good job." But Gravy, look out, as she proceeds to tell him it would be best if you run, and he doesn't even notice, but within an instant, Cell X knocks him down. So it looks like Cell X doesn't have any awareness or consciousness behind what he's doing, but instead he looks to be attacking both Vegeks and Gravy, and Gravy's on down into the ground and saying, "Curse him." He stands up and saying, "Hey Putine, hurry up and just control him," and that's when she replies by saying, "About that, he has exceeded even my expectations. I can't control him anymore. He surely is a monster. Now get serious, damn it." And then right behind Gravy, because you can see how frustrated he's beginning to get, Vegeks emerges and kicking him right near the ribcage, and that's when Gravy looks at him and saying, "How's that?" with Vegeks saying, "You brat." So it looks like Vegeks right now and Gravy seem to be a tad bit evenly matched, as Gravy grabs onto his weapon and attempts to swinging it at Vegeks, but Vegeks actually manages to catch it. So it seems like a back and forth kind of battle, because once these two actually engage, it looks to be very evenly fought, as Vegeks is attempting to blast his head off, and we see how Gravy still has Vegeks' leg tightly gripped next to his ribs. And at first you don't really know who has the advantage, because both of these fighters seem to be very evenly matched, and immediately Gravy manages to kick Vegeks up in the sky, but then Vegeks comes on down in releasing massive blasts, but as soon as he does so, behind him, Cell comes in and wrapping one of his legs around Vegeks, and even Gravy at this point is is pretty much dumbfounded as to who to attack, because it's not just a one-on-one fight, but more or less a triple threat battle, because it's every man for themselves at this point. So Vegeks gets wrapped up, and we see how Gravy's like, and Cell X comes crashing on down, because as an end result, Cell X smashes Gravy beneath him while still keeping Vegeks clutched. Now over out in the distance, Putin is like, oh, well, they just started fighting. How will I be able to collect the Dragon Balls now? So she's sitting back and she's watching all of this unfold, because she's actually just there just to simply collect the Dragon Balls, and that's when she looks on over and she says, oh, they're alive. But interestingly enough, Gravy and Vegeks are right next to each other, side by side. They're not fighting, but more or less looking like they're about to come to an agreement in fighting Cell X together, in which both of them at the exact same time go on to state, I'll deal with him first. And both of them are bloody, both of them seem to be very aggravated, and then we get to see how both Gravy and Vegeks get together in attempting to release one of their final moves upon Cell X and stopping him. Now, we see how Gravy is wielding his weapon up in the sky, Vegeks is doing the traditional Trunks burning attack kind of technique, so this looks to be very intense, because by the end of it, Vegeks cries out in saying burning impact, and Gravy cries out by saying sentence of lightning, and together, side by side, they release this very massive blast that not only overtakes Cell completely, in which you can tell based on Cell's reaction that he just got completely decimated in this chapter, and it's a real disappointment to see the end result of Cell X happen like this, because Cell X had such momentum building behind him in the idea that he was not only fighting a dark demon god, but also a mega fusion at the exact same time. As quickly as he came in, we see how he just gets blown into bits, like pieces of Cell X are no more, and then finally he fades into the blinding white light, and finally we see how Vegeks is huffing and puffing, but then, to everyone's surprise, we see how there's somewhat of a disturbance going on within their body. We see zipping, we see shaking, and then out of nowhere they both separate, and Trunks is like, no way, the powers of the Potaras broke as soon as we overused it. Crap, it's like a time like this is a bad time, no. And Gravy overlooks both of them as he goes on to state, Putin, get the Dark Dragon Ball and return back. In the meantime, I'll return after giving these meatheads a final blow. And Putin's like, alright, well, good luck. And it looks like at this point, Vegeta and Trunks are basically screwed, because they're up against the person that not only was able to fight off their fusion, I wouldn't say relatively well, but at a decent pace, to where we see Vegeks actually struggle just a little bit, but we also get to see how all of a sudden he's about to use this weapon in shattering both of them, as he goes on to state, I'll smash you into pieces. And right before he's actually about to kill them both, they suddenly disappear. And you see Gravy, he's confused and he's like, what? I mean, where did they go? In which out of nowhere we get to see how one of them goes on to state, thanks for saving us, Supreme Kai of Time, as the Supreme Kai says, I just arrived at the right moment. Gravy is an amateur, so I guess he didn't even realize that he was caught in a magic freeze, because it looks like Supreme Kai actually froze Gravy for the most part in trying to allow Trunks and Vegeta to escape the inevitable. And that's when Vegeta's like, damn it, leave me, Trunks. And that's when the Supreme Kai is like, once Gravy leaves that past, it'll surely correct itself. It was our mistake, we let them get the second Dark Dragon Ball, but we'll have to deal with that later. More importantly, we are also in a bad situation, so it looks like they actually have managed to get their hands on the second Dark Dragon Ball. So now Mira and Towa, alongside the rest of the minions over down in the Demon Realm, have 2 of the Dark Dragon Balls and only 5 to go. But then over out in a different world, we see how it goes on to state Goku's in a pinch. And over out beyond Goku, we see, I don't even know how many men, hundreds, perhaps thousands of men, and Xeno Goku's huffing and puffing. He looks to be very battle damaged, as the narration goes on to state, who are these military forces, and what is this person with his back turned? Is this, as the manga chapter comes to an end? So, yes it is, it's in fact Kid Buu, but the only difference here, if you guys have been following Dragon Ball Heroes, is this is also Kid Buu with a Dragon Ball lodged into his chest. So now we come to the understanding that Goku is facing off against Kid Buu, who is exponentially more powerful than how he was when he originally first fought him at the end of the Majin Buu saga, which ultimately means that despite every individual that they came across thus far, Frieza, Cell, Kid Buu has to be the strongest by far, especially if Xeno Goku now is supposed to be at his peak, and he doesn't look to be in that great of shape. He's tired, he's fatigued, he looks to be bloody, and with all of these minions and men standing around Goku and Buu, we can only speculate as to what that is. However, also Cell X was a huge disappointment in this manga chapter because as soon as he was introduced, he was basically just rendered obsolete by both Gravy and Vegeks, because I really wanted to see what he was capable of, because it's really interesting to see how Cell X was easily able to handle his own business by attacking Vegeks, by attacking Gravy so casually and sitting on them and swiping them away, and he's very powerful in nature. It's not the fact that his strength only increased, but also his speed, his durability, his intelligence on where his opponents are and what they're doing, so that's a good thing. However, seeing him fade away I think was a bad thing, and if you guys want to learn more about Dragon Ball Heroes' lore as to what's going on, make sure you guys check out the previous 3 manga chapters to this, because it basically goes on to explain everything that you guys need to know in terms of what's happening up until this very current point. So let me know what you all think down in the comment section below. What are your overall thoughts on Xeno Goku having a fight against Kid Buu? What are your overall thoughts on Cell X having to be rendered obsolete so quickly right before he even got a chance to do any great significant amounts of damage? Let me know what you all think down below. Thank you all once again. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys go on ahead and slap a like down below. If of course you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and also hit that subscribe button, guys. Turn on all notifications by clicking on that bell icon. That way you guys can receive the notification whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel. If you guys want to read and watch more of the fan mangas on this channel, then click the description box down below. You guys will find a playlist link to where we have literally dozens upon dozens of fan mangas for you guys to watch and enjoy. So thank you all once again. Tune back in for Dragon Ball Heroes Dark Demon Realm manga chapter number 5, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below. Take it easy, everybody. Q! You guys know the rest. My motherfucking outro, bitch.